we are squeezing the center of Gaza city from all directions, and slowly we move towards the center, to the area which is the center of gravity of Hamas in the Gaza area. The aim at the end is to reach all the facilities of Hamas and to destroy it. The strong points, the factories in which they produce the weapon systems, headquarters, command and control centers, to kill the members of Hamas, including the leadership of Hamas, which disappeared. They are sending their people into the street and they are disappearing. They don't fight. The part of this leadership is sitting in Qatar in 5-star hotels, and the other part of the leadership is still in Gaza. They sent their people to fight, but they are not there.
Earlier, I spoke to Yaakov Amidror. He's a former Israeli Major General and a former National Security Advisor to Benjamin Netanyahu. He told me what he made of Israel's military offensive.
First of all, we cut it at half, but only on the ground. Still, the tunnels leading from north to south and backwards still exist. So it is not a full isolation of the area. We are squeezing the center of Gaza city from all directions, and slowly we move towards the center, to the area which is the center of gravity of Hamas in the Gaza area. The aim at the end is to reach all the facilities of Hamas and to destroy it. The strong points, the factories in which they produce the weapon systems, headquarters, command and control centers, to kill the members of Hamas, including the leadership of Hamas, which disappeared. They are sending their people into the street and they are disappearing. They don't fight. The part of this leadership is sitting in Qatar in 5-star hotels, and the other part of the leadership is still in Gaza. They sent their people to fight, but they are not there.
But do you think it's really going to be possible to actually destroy Hamas as an organization, given that, as you say, part of the leadership has already managed to get out of the country?
It's only the beginning. We are just five days in the war. It will take us a few months. We will clean Gaza. And if you have an insurance company, don't make any bargain with the leadership outside of Gaza.
But this is being done at a terrible cost, isn't it? I mean, do you accept those figures from the health ministry in Gaza, which of course is controlled by Hamas, but it is saying that 10,000 people have now been killed there?
I thought when you ask about the cost, I thought that you speak about the 1,000 Israelis which had been butchered by a barbarian organization called Hamas that should not exist.
Well, I do, of course, recognise that is what began this violence, but I'm asking you about the violence since then.
I'm answering. I thought that you are speaking about the children which had been kidnapped into the Gaza by this brutal organization called Hamas. And what you ask me about the fact that Israel is defending itself and killing Hamas members, which, let's assume that the number is the right number. Do you know how many of them are members of Hamas and how many of them are civilians? Maybe 8,000 out of the 10,000 are members of Hamas. Do you know the number? Do you know that Hamas is doing everything that Israel will kill as many civilians as possible? Don't let the civilians to leave Gaza, because they want Israel to kill many civilians, because this is the way that they can apply to your media and other media apparatus in the world and say, hey guys, the Israelis are killing civilians. Of course we are killing civilians, because we don't let the civilians to leave the area. So
but the UN Secretary General, the UN Secretary General has said that Gaza is becoming a graveyard for children.
In the United Nations nominated Iran as the head of Committee for Human Rights. So we will take seriously the United Nations with all due respect. What you tell me? You tell me there is a barbarian organization called Hamas, and is immune from being destroyed. Why? Because he's doing all his efforts to make the operation behind the civilians of Gaza.
I'm simply asking you, sir, about the costs to civilians of this operation.
So I'm answering you. If we have to destroy Hamas, and if you agree that Hamas should be destroyed, no question that the people of Gaza will pay the price, because Hamas does not let them to leave the area. And because of that, we don't have any other choice. The choice we have is only to fight Hamas and kill civilians, or not to fight Hamas and not to kill civilians. We prefer to defend ourselves by killing Hamas. And if the consequences is people in Gaza will be killed, blame Hamas, not us.
But we know, don't we, that people are being killed, civilians are being killed, not just in Gaza City, in the north of the Gaza Strip, but even those who have left that area, who have headed south, have also been killed in airstrikes. Shouldn't the Israelis be doing more to protect those civilians?
No, it's a lie. No, it's a lie. We didn't strike the area which we designated a safe area. It is a lie that people are telling all around London and in England. It's not true. We didn't strike even once the area which was designated a safe haven. It's a lie. And please don't tell lies and don't ask based on lies.
Well, we have seen a lot of evidence of strikes which have killed people, and heard from people, including aid workers, who have witnessed people being killed there.
You don't have even one evidence, because this is an area which was by us, and our Air Force is very accurate. We don't bomb this area. So there is no one evidence that someone in the safe haven of the area which was designated by Israel was killed by Israeli airstrike. Not even one.
Well, there have been numerous reports, including from aid agencies, of people who have been killed in these areas.
No, it's Arab aid agencies that are telling lies all the war. They told you that we bombed the hospital in Gaza, and at the end of the day, even you, the Brits, have to admit that it was done by Islamic Jihad. After a few days that you told the lies that it was done by Israel, of course.
Well, we didn't say that on Times Radio, sir, but let me ask you about the fact that the United Nations has said that 88 of its own staff working in Gaza have been killed. Those are people who are working for relief organizations.
So, again, what you told me, that there is an organization called Hamas, barbarian, which killed civilians in purpose. They looked for civilians to be killed. They killed 300 Israelis in a music festival. And you, the Israelis, cannot do anything to kill them. Why? Because there are employees of the United Nations that near those people of Hamas. So don't kill the Hamas, because the employees of the United Nations are nearby. With all due respect, we will kill the Hamas, and if the consequence will be that employees of the United Nations will be killed, we are very sorry, really very sorry, but there is no any other way that we know to fight Hamas, and we will destroy Hamas to ashes. Hamas will not exist as an organization after the war. And if for that we will have to kill few civilians, we are very worried about it. We try to do whatever we can to let the civilians live. In the last 2 weeks, we are calling every civilian, including the employees of the United Nations, to leave the area. Why they didn't leave the area?
You have said that this military operation could take many months. When it is completed, what do you think is Israel's intention? Will it have to occupy Gaza? Who will run Gaza?
We are not going to occupy Gaza. We will go after Hamas organization. We will kill the leadership, the commanders in all the ranks of Hamas. We will destroy the offices, the command and control system, the factories in which they manufacture weapon system. We will destroy the underground tunnels. We will go after all of them, and we will kill them, and we'll destroy all the facilities that they build in Gaza. And then we will leave Gaza. We are not going to occupy Gaza. Gaza is not our interest. Our interest is the security of the state of Israel. Only that.
Just finally, you have explained in very powerful terms why this operation is being conducted, why civilians are dying in this war. Are you concerned, though, that the cost of this war, the human cost, the bloodshed, the lives lost, is going to cost you, Israel, international support?
with all due respect, we stopped 5 operations in Gaza because of the international community demand. And you know what was the result? 7th of October, in which they butchered 1,000 civilians, families, kinders, babies, children. So with all due respect to the international community in the legitimacy of the international community, we made a mistake in the past. We are not going to do it again. We accepted the demand of the international community, and we stopped 5 operations in Gaza before we distract Hamas. Huge mistake that we did. We are not going to do it again.
Well, that was Yaakov Amidror, a former Israeli Major General and a former National Security Advisor to Benjamin Netanyahu, speaking to me just a little earlier.